Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Easy 8's Online Painting Club. My name's Danny. It says it right down there at the bottom of the screen. It's been a couple of weeks since we've last seen each other, and it feels like a million years. And I kind of sat down today to go, what do we do? How does it go? And I feel a little bit clumsy. I have had a complete refit of my PC, and a word of warning, there's every opportunity, because it's not working very well at the moment, that it could just crap out at any time. I'm sorry for the language, but it's actually been one of my main concerns in life for the past sort of 10 days. I've spent nearly £1,000 on a whole new system, and it's brilliant, it's awesome, and it's super high spec, all in the bid to make that camera behave itself, to deliver you a quality program, or at least near quality. And every now and again, it just overheats and it shuts down, and there's nothing I can do about it. I've had the techies over here. I've had Keslin, Kes from the live chat, who comes and joins us every week over here several times, because she's really good. Trying to make the graphics card work better, and it's sort of doing it. It is okay. During some gameplay on some very high performance games, it's just been giving up the ghost and just kind of resetting. If that happens, there's nothing I can do, and this show will just come to an end tonight. So that's a word of warning tonight. I really don't want it to, but there's no point in me restarting like I have done in the past when I've had little technical glitches and things like that, because it'll just do it again. So I'm praying to the internet gods and to the streaming gods that actually it just runs really smoothly. All the tests I've done have been without incident. They've been really, really good. And it's just on, in fact, just one video game in particular, which is pretty demanding, it seems. We did some tests on that yesterday, it was all fine, and today, didn't work. So that's a bit of a bummer. So if that happens, I'll go straight over to Facebook, so come and find me over there. So if you're new here to Easy 8, hi, welcome to the show, and welcome back for all of those guys who've just come over there in the live chat. Hi Jeff, that's Dad. Hi John from Out of This World Models and Minis. It's if you are new here, this isn't a painting tutorial or anything like that. This is basically just a social club where you can come, paint your minis, and do all that sort of stuff with me, with these guys over here, just safe in the knowledge that there's someone else out there struggling to get through their plastic hordes. I've got millions of stuff to do, and this is a great way of kind of getting it done together. So Out of This World Models and Minis, that's John Takax. If you haven't seen John's show, there's a link in the description down there. Go and do it, because he rose to an amazing challenge when I was showing him the Games Workshop sort of demolding tool. I said it was a bit like Marmite, you either hate it or you love it. Marmite is a food, a spread for your toast or your sandwiches here in the UK, and that's its motto. It's selling thing. Either hate it or you love it. And I suggested to John, who's over in the States, that especially being that he's in the culinary industry, that he should try it. And I challenged him to do a taste of it on a show, and he did, and it's brilliant. I won't ruin it for you because it's worth watching. Anyway, so come along and join us here either on YouTube or on Facebook or on Instagram, or if you like, you can come and join me. Hopefully I've got the energy today, but more on that in a minute, to come and join me at the Easy 8 After Party on Discord at the end of the show. We're on all of those platforms, and the links to all of them are just down there, so go and have a little look if you haven't done that already. Jeff says, oi oi, hi Dad, how's it going? I look like I'm well, but I'm actually very poorly, and I'm really struggling for energy, and I was on the computer over here earlier on, and I fell asleep. Painkillers aren't touching me. I've got what feels like COVID. It could be. Who knows? The tests cost so much money we can't test anymore. And the world's just kind of carrying on anyway. But I probably just have a very bad cold, and I'm just probably milking it for everything it's worth. But I've had sore throats like you wouldn't believe, headaches, tiredness, and now I've just got what feels a really horrible cold, and I'm just kind of falling asleep all the time. So I'm just going to go for it. Have a really good evening, because I've really been missing out on the paintbrushes lately. Jeff says, "Ooh, nice shiny show." Yeah, I'll tell you why in a minute. It wasn't deliberate. Out of This World Models and Minis. John says, congratulations on the new setup. Thank you very much. I hope it goes really well. I genuinely do. I really do. But who knows? Let's just have a go. I would love to absolutely know absolutely know. I would absolutely love to know what it is that you guys are painting this evening. So if you have got a project on the go, do let me know. Drop it over there in the live chat, or if you're watching a little bit later on, or you're shy and you don't want to do the live chat, that's fine. Drop it down in the comment section, because I'd love to know what it is. I'm genuinely interested in everything that you are painting this evening. Doesn't matter if you're a pro, doesn't matter if you're new to it. I want to know about it. I'm not very good, but I like to share all of my successes and my failures, which is more failures actually, with you guys. So yeah, and if you want to drop your photos, you can do it on Facebook. Hopefully that has been on the skits lately, so if it's not working very well, my apologies. But you can drop all of your photos over on the Discord channel, which some people are doing like loads and loads of it over there. Discord's really active lately, so go and join those guys over there as well. That'd be great. Yeah, the Marmite challenge. Yeah, it was. Yeah, man. Thanks for doing that. Feel free to challenge me in any way as well, because I will obviously pay in kind. I'm just harvesting the likes, man. Just farming the interest for the videos right now. I'm not doing that at all. But just take in mind that I'm a vegetarian. Okay, cool. What am I doing tonight? I am going to be painting one of my Martian robots from my Skitari army. Because I've been doing a few bits and pieces over the last few weeks, and it's time to change projects. So yeah, I've got some colours already blocked in. Got to do a little bit more, and yeah, hopefully you can come and join me in for that. Before we go over to the workbench, John has put editing my Star Wars battle droid video. Excuse me, I'd love to see that, so let me know when it's been posted, and I will obviously drop a link over on the Facebook page for you as well, so everyone else can see it. Jeff says, can't tell you, it's top secret for Salute. If you don't know what Salute is, if you're outside of the UK, Salute is probably the country's biggest wargaming convention. It's shh. Okay, cool. Actually, I know what you're talking about, and I can't say it either. But if you are interested in what Jeff, my dad, is doing over at Purple Lion Creations, he is a very well sought after bespoke terrain maker, specialising in buildings and things of any period, or even fantasy genres as well. So go on over and check him out. There's links again to that in the description down there. I pointed in that side, but actually it's that side here, isn't it? Cool. Just before we go any further, I brought it up from the old studio. Yeah, it hasn't got its lights working yet, but yeah, just a nice bit of, nostalgia there. Anyway, enough of that. If you do like what we do here, please like, follow, share, and subscribe, because everything that you do really helps me make this show get bigger and better, and I make it for you. It's not just for me, although it is a good portion of that. It's 50-50. But subscribe, it'll be really helpful. Thank you very much. Let's head on over to the workbench, and let's see if this camera's going to do what it's supposed to do. Here we go. Here is my workbench. Here is my hand. If you've got any issues with the video or the sound or anything like that this evening, please let me know, because I'm still trying to iron out all the kinks. Because, as I said a minute ago, it wasn't deliberate. So what happened when me and Kez were sorting everything out for the component change? For some reason, the old hard drives, which I was going to install as, backups and extra space, whatever, just corrupted. I've lost 10, maybe 12 years of just stuff. I'm not going to get emotional about it, although it's very easy to, because there's no point in, I'm not going to get that back. A friend has actually offered to see if they can have a go for me, which is very kind, so I'm going to hand it over to them. But of course, all the information that I used to make this show, all the graphics, everything, all the music, was on that hard drive. And yesterday I remembered last minute, which is why the schedule for the show is really, really late, is because last night when I went to go make the schedule, I was like, oh my god, there's no music, there's no graphics, there's nothing. So I had to start all over again. So you will notice just down here that my name is in a different font. Just over there, that little subscribe banner, that's in a different font. And I've loaded it all up. If you like these new fonts, maybe I'll keep them. But if you like the old fonts, I'll bring it all back for you. I did manage to find the music, so that was all good. So yeah, it's been an emotional, dramatic, and expensive couple of weeks, and I'm just looking forward to getting some paint on the models. Anyway, let's move over to this guy, because this is my Martian robot. He is really cool. I've had a lot of sort of interesting feedback and chats with the community at large, really, about this guy, because he looks really cool. I mean, out of all the ones that I've got, they were pre-made for me. They were given to me by my friend called Dave. Thank you very much, Dave. I know you don't really watch the show very much anymore, but I'm very, very grateful. They were already made by Dave, but unpainted. So, yeah, I didn't really have much choice in the way that they were posed. But this is probably the best posed one. It's got a really cool gun on the top. It's got these really big glove fist things. And what I really like about him is it's got all this homage to all the old sort of 1960s style sort of sci-fi things, or going all the way back to sort of Robbie the Robot, Lost in Space. What was the film with the creature of the year? I can never remember what it's called, but it's actually one of my favourite films of that time. But yeah, they kind of got this. It's got all those vibes going on in there, and I just really like it. Even though the face and the head is a little bit comical, when done properly, it looks really, really cool. I've got all the colours blocked in, and I've even done a little bit of a Seraphim sepia wash over him, so a lot of the details are all kind of standing out. You can see like a lot of the lines, a lot of the rivets, they're all sort of standing out, and at this stage I'm really happy with that. I've done the red on here on his hands. That was quite hard to get the red inside it, in and around. If I was making this guy, I probably would have put those on as a separate thing. Unfortunately, I cannot get right down his side. There's a little bit in there. I don't know if you can see on the camera, it's a little bit unpainted in there. Not a lot I can do about that. I've tried airbrushing in there. I just don't get lots of overspray. I didn't realise by the time I'd already done a lot of the work on there anyway. I'm going to do like a little bit of steel dry brushing on the head when that's all done. And then the faceplate in here, I'm going to do like, because I've been inspired by some of the work you see on Instagram, etc. And you see like the sort of oscillating waves of, like old-fashioned computers and the green wave kind of going along. I really like that, and I thought that would be really cool. That's going to take some work to do, so that's going to be like the last thing I do. And I'll do some high glosses to make it look like it's a screen, and if I mess it up, gloss is easy to, allows me a little bit of time, a little bit of affordability for mistakes to be made in cleaning up. What I've got to do on him before I start going and doing some of the details is, I was thinking to myself when it was all painted, he is a little bit toyish, and I don't really know how to get away from that with all the colours on him. What I've discovered looking at my friend Dave's one, because he painted up one and gave me a bunch that weren't painted. He's a very, very good painter. In the traditional Mars colours, you see he's done the faceplate on him in like just a shiny green. You can see that actually if I spin him around, there's actually a lot of silver work in there as well, and that really, really breaks it up. Excuse me. I really like that, and I think that will be enough to bring back some of the features on this guy here. So what I'm going to do first of all today, this is only a recent revelation, is I'm going to do all of the silver work on him, and that might just take me through the whole show because we know how slow a painter I am. I think that really works on him, it's really good. What you will notice is that this isn't the steel colour that I was using on my Skitarii a little while ago, where I was using this new metal colour Vallejo from, it's a Forbidden Planet, says Jeff. Thank you so much. That's the name of that film, Forbidden Planet. I don't know why I struggle to remember that. Just, memory fade. Thank you. It's going to be bugging me all night, that was. This is the steel colour that I was using on my little Skitarii dudes. Coming back to these guys over here. This is actually one of my old... this is one of the recent ones I've done. When I compared this against some of the silver work on my recent ones, I actually preferred that silver on the smaller models. I've thought to myself, well, when would I use this bigger one? Sorry, this bigger one, or this bigger pot, this more realistic metal. And I thought, well, if I would use it on larger models, maybe even something like this. This is one of their walkers. They've got a lot of exposed engine parts and things. And I thought, well, would I use it on this thing here? I thought, yes, I would. But as we've discovered, spraying that silver, you've got to spray it to get the effects out of it. And spraying that orange is really difficult to do. So what do? Do I spray the whole thing with that silver and then painstakingly go over with all the orange? Or do I paint it orange and go in with the old silver? There's no point using the new silver, so I might as well go with the old silver and do it. What I think I will do in the future is I will use the steel colour because it looks cool, right? And, excuse me, I will hand paint all the orange in place. I will use a really good white pigment base colour, which covers really well over that silver, and then go over it with the orange. But for now, what I'm going to have to do is just paint the silver back in, and hopefully it'll come out like this, which looks really good. He's a really fine painter, is my friend Dave. Thanks again, Dave, for giving me all this stuff. It's really cool of you. Very kind. So there we go. John has put weathering and damage might help get away from that toy feel. Absolutely, you're absolutely right. And that was what I was going to start on tonight. So I was going to do like a lot of scratches and things, and I was going to work my way through the layers of sort of primer, if you want, that would have been painted on this thing. So I've got the colour that I normally paint my orange, which is this one here, hot orange. and I was going to use this brighter orange. If I compare the two, you can see how much brighter it is. So I was just going to do like lots of scratches and dots and things with this one over all of the orange surface, and then on the larger areas I would then put like a little bit of rusted brown, then like actually going right down to bare metal, and sound like I could do like big marks and explosions of bullet holes and things on them. And I thought that'd make them look really sort of torn and used, and like you say, it should hopefully make them look really sort of, well, it should take away that toyish aspect on them. I am considering doing my old traditional griming effects on these guys. I've stayed away from it on my Skitaris because it just is inappropriate to use, I think. But on something like this, it might be beneficial, but I don't know how I feel about it. One of those things. Anyway, look, I'm just going to kind of crack on. So here we go. First things first, let's get myself some brushes sorted out over here. Everything's in a bit of a mess because I was fighting with cats earlier on. They've decided that actually they're going to be really destructive cats from now on, and that's doing my head in. Yeah, so what's this one here? This is my 0. 0 would be a good place to start, I think. Or will it? I'm not doing weathering today, I'm doing silver work. Actually, maybe I can go a bit bigger. Maybe I'll go up to a 1. Here we go. Cool. I'm going to use this fella here as my sort of source material, if you like. And I know that I'm going to keep this plate on the top here, the same colour. And then I'm going to sort of work my way around and just do silver all over. I was worried about how I was going to do the gun, but I really like this. It's done really well. Yeah, he's done a really good job on it, and I like it. Jeff says orange is a pig to use at the best of times over silver. Yeah, so if you remember when I was doing these guys just a few weeks ago now, I sprayed them all silver and then I went over them with orange, and I did one and it just took, I lost count into the double digits of how many coats I had to go over it, but I did one coat of this Screaming Skull, which is Citadel's off-white colour. That covers the silver immediately, and then it's just 1, maybe 2 coats of orange over the top. So I think actually that's my way forwards. And don't forget that I'm using airbrush paints here, so I'm going to get this one in a brush paint which will be thicker, so it will apply better anyway. But it is a good point. I don't know if Stafford's watching us right now, but I've gone and done a little thing for him today, because he's always been bugging me about this, but because it's been a couple of weeks since I actually picked up any paints or paintbrushes, of course I'm going to have to give this a really good shake, and of course I'm going to have to hit it today on the Wazomatic. Yeah, there you go. I told you I was going to do it. The Wazomatic, ladies and gentlemen, just for Stafford. The Easy 8 Wazomatic. I'm sorry, I had a few minutes. Oh, it's good because I'm childish, right? So the problem with a new PC is clearly it's either a power issue or it's overheating, or a combination of the two. And I really don't want it to be either, but I hope it's more of a power issue than it is a heat issue. Power issue is easier to solve. It could just be that I need to replace my power supply unit, which is the only thing inside the PC that I didn't change that in the case. So hopefully it's just a case of that. Here I am mixing up my orange. Actually, I should be mixing up my silver. So I'm just going to get my silver, chainmail silver out here, and of course I'm going to go back to the Wazomatic. Yes, if it is a power issue, it's much easier to solve. It's just more money, which is a shame, but whatever, money's money. And then I can replace that. If it's a heat issue, then it's a lot harder, and of course it's going to chuck out more heat in the studio. And while we're just sort of heading into the first days of autumn, that's okay. We're going to head into winter. It's going to be cold. It's all right. The rest of the house at the moment is freezing cold, and up here it's quite balmy. But if we have another summer like we did this year, I'm going to really struggle. So yeah, I mean, it's already noticeably hotter in here because of the new system. This is the first time that I've run it on the show, so let's see what happens, eh? Okay, so I'm just going to put a big old dollop of silver in my palette on the side there. Cool. Also, just before the show, my headphones were running out of power, so I'm actually cabled in today. But because my cats are destructive, the connection is sometimes a bit vulnerable. I could lose power to my headset today, so that'll be interesting. First bit of paint down. Lovely. And what I'm really hoping that I get from this silver is that it just covers in one coat. I'm okay with if it doesn't, but it'd be nice if it does. I think it's going to be 2. John giving me the trophies there. Oh, I feel rough. It's got a bit of a cough, which is not what you want when you're a painter, right? I have really struggled through work over the last few days. And unfortunately everybody else has been getting it as well. But when you're the boss, you've got to stay on, haven't you? I thought I liked being the boss, and then I realised the flaw. I'm going to bring my lights in a little bit closer. It's a bit dim in here today. Not entirely sure why. There we go. That seems a little bit better. Oh yeah, that's much better. Already I can see how that's going to look. I think that is... I think that's the sort of answer that I was looking for. Are those vents painted silver as well? They are. That's going to make it easy because I was trying to get the paintbrush in behind there, but I don't have to worry about it. One of the big problems I've got with model painting is it's because I'm not a very good painter. A lot of my stuff comes out looking very toyish. Not all of it. I don't mind them being toys. Of course they're toys. We play games with them. But I want them to look gritty and, you know, masculine. Bring a little bit of sexism to the show there. You know what I mean, though? I want them to look realistic and cool. So when they start to look a little bit like that, I'm always looking for solutions on how to, you know, how to change it. A little bit of orange just showing through that layer of paint, but it's not too bad actually. It's okay. Just checking on there. It's the whole thing, isn't it? It's just literally, it's just the sort of the cowling, if you like, just around the shoulders here. That's actually the same colour. So I can go a little bit crazy, get a bit liberal down there. Trying to not cover up that cog icon there if I can get away with it, just because, well, you know, extra layers of paint, right? No point in going crazy over the detail. If I start to cough or sneeze or have a runny nose and sniff a little bit, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to keep it under control. My partner was like, "You don't have to do the show, Danny. You don't have to do." I'm like, "Yeah, I do. Behave yourself. The show has got to go on. I'm in show business now." That's what we do. Isn't that right, John? John's more like movie theatre, as where mine's a little bit more just theatre. John says, that's why I have to go into work later. One of my assistants is sick, and now I'm the general manager, so I have to go in. I'm now the general manager. Is that a promotion? Congratulations, if so. That's really cool, man. A general manager. I am not a general manager. I am what is called a team leader, so I'm like a really low-level manager. I have a team of people who I train and teach and coach. Observe all the time. It's like 80% of my job is actually just observing them. And obviously I don't work in the food industry. I work in children's residential activities. So we give them all like cool adventure holidays and stuff. And if you remember the last show I did a couple of weeks ago, I did it on a Thursday because I was getting ready to go away for the weekend, where I went into Wales, where it's my friend's stag do, and I was organising activities for us to go and do, because I was the best man, to my friend who got married earlier in the year. And it was because of lots of complications in the world, COVID and his studies, etc. He got married before his stag do, which is actually quite common now, I suppose. So yeah, me and a bunch of friends went to Wales, and we had a jolly old good time. And I think I overestimated how many things we could do, and I booked so many activities, everybody crashed. But yeah, we went and did some paddle boarding up the River Wye, which is one of the more popular rivers in Wales. 6 miles we went, and it was glorious. Safe to say, I was in the drink a lot, kept falling off. And if I wasn't falling off, people thought it was funny, so they pushed me off. We did some gorge walking, we did some laser tag, we did some go-karting. Turns out I'm very competitive. And what else do we do? Did some axe throwing. Turns out I'm a god at axe throwing. He says ever so modestly. How's this looking so far? That's actually looking really, really good. That's much better. I can see some more comments going in. The show must go on. Yes, sir. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It has to, man. It has to. Jeff says, that's why you're paid the big dollars, right? Yes, it is. But like I say, low-level manager. And I wouldn't want to go any higher, maybe in the years to come. But at the moment, I really enjoy working with my team and doing what I do. It's great. It's, as we know this year, very time-consuming. But hopefully, as the years go on and I get better at it, because I'm quite new to this role, at least, not the industry. Hopefully, I get better at it, and me and my team, who are all quite new to it since the pandemic, essentially, hopefully we all just get better, and it isn't so difficult to manage all that time. But I wouldn't give it up for the world. Even if I won the lottery, I would still do it, because it's just such an enriching and rewarding job. But you've got to find some me time and all of that. You have to. One of the things that I like to focus on with my team is making sure that they have a stable mental health. To look after my guys. What does everybody think about that silver so far? That's breaking it all up. It's looking so much better, isn't it? Really, really good. I could just sneak it around a little bit over here. Doesn't really matter if I get it on this part of the gun, because it's all going to go silver anyway. But I do like to make sure that I'm not painting. like just kind of randomly all over the place, because it's much easier to kind of miss things. It just makes it all look untidy as you're working through. So I do like to focus on one little bit at a time. When I was a kid and I was painting this all the time, I just kind of put paint on and get distracted, be like, oh, I'll paint this bit, oh, I'll do this bit, oh, I'll go over here, and yeah, that's not cool. There's a little cat hair in there, because what would the show be without a cat hair? They have literally been on everything though. Right, got rid of that. I keep getting a lot of requests to bring the cats into the show, but until they can prove to me that they can behave, it's not going to happen. I have been in here for like private painting sessions when I'm not doing the show, or even sometimes when I'm on Discord, and girl cat just likes to go to sleep. I've got a little camping chair beside me, she just goes to sleep on that. Doesn't sleep on the very expensive cat bed that I've got there, but you know, she'll sleep on a camping chair, whatever. And yeah, but you just know that if you're running the show, if it's important, that they're not going to behave, and they're going to start eating things, and they've been trying to eat minis, and that's not cool. Every now and again I'm like, is that an arm of a Martian? My cat wandering around. One cat's got a feather in his mouth, and the other one's got like a little Martian miniature in her mouth. Yeah, my cat likes feathers. He goes out, he's got a little collection of feathers downstairs. Whatever. John says, looks really good. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. It's very kind. And I've just seen a comment going in from Ruben. Hi, Ruben. Robot. Very cool. I like the colours you're working with today. Thanks very much, man. Nice to see you again, Ruben. I hope you're doing well, mate. I've noticed that actually the Hostile Galaxy, which you run over there in the States, has taken recent changes as well. I hope they're all good changes and all the best for what it is that you're doing. I've joined your Leagues of Votan group as well. What are you up to today, Ruben? Are you doing any painting, or are you just kind of dropping in for a little bit between other duties? And thank you for the comment on the choice of colours. I chose orange because it's a colour that I've never worked with before, sorry. And yeah, I like it. I like it when it behaves. But as I've proven a few episodes ago, it doesn't always. I think I'm going in a bit rough there. Slow down a little bit. Okay, that's good. Just working my way up the arm of this gun here. There's a lovely little breeze coming in from the windows. That's lovely. Gonna have to definitely do 2 coats of the silver over the black here, because that's a much more penetrating colour, and it is coming through that silver quite strong. I'm definitely gonna have to go over the orange again, but it won't have to be so diligent, I don't think, if that's the right term to use there. Jeff says it's just me and the cat, and he's too old to get in the workshop now. Yeah, you got to go up a little ladder to get into yours, haven't you? Yeah, you're right, he's too old to get up there. If he was to get up there, you'd have to lift him out, and that would be dangerous for you and your skin. Terrain building is a lonely business. Oh, that's the saddest comment we've ever had on here. I'm reminded of the tribute I put to Fred, your old workshop cat. May he rest in peace. What a lovely little cat he was. Actually, if you look at my personal Facebook page, just the other week I put out a little photo of him from 10 years ago. It feels like yesterday. Bless him. Cats are wonderful animals. I know that there's dog lovers, cat lovers, whatever. I love all animals, but cats are just great, and they're like they're great company. Sorry that it's lonely in the workshop there. Ruben says, thank you for joining the group. You're absolutely welcome. Anything to help support other hobbyists out there. Today I'm just hopping in and watching while I get my 2-year-old down for a nap. Oh, if you could get me down for a nap afterwards, that'd be great as well. I promise I won't be too much trouble. I've already had a grown-up drink before the show, just because, like I say, the paracetamol wasn't doing the job. I have to say, about 10 minutes before going live, I was like, I wonder if that was just a great idea, as I kind of wobbled down the stairs a little bit, but I think I just sat in the chair for too long. But you don't know. I am getting old now. do the gun in like a gunmetal colour, but I don't know how I feel about this whole gunmetal silver deal. To me, metal is metal. Yes, you do get different types, but I think gunmetal, is it an overrated colour? Because companies, I've got one here, look, companies make gunmetal colour, and here is a gunmetal colour from Vallejo, and it looks very dark. It's almost going into the blue tones, and I just don't know if that's an appropriate thing to do. When we say gunmetal, is it all guns? Would this sort of gun, and obviously I'm using historical accuracies here for inspiration, but is that the sort of metal that you would use on this sort of thing? I just don't know. Is it more sort of like handguns or revolvers, modern revolvers that would be that would be gunmetal? Would it look appropriate? Would it look appropriate to have all this sort of silver and then gunmetal silver on the gun? Yeah. Turns out I get quite a bit of anxiety trying to deal with questions like that in my head, and I had a complete mental collapse, and I had to go and have a crisp sandwich. So yeah. Let me know your thoughts on gunmetal silver, either in the live chat or in the comment section down below. I am going to have to blow my nose for a minute, so I'll wash my brush out, and I will just dry that off. I don't have any tissue. Where's the tissue here? There it is. I have tissue for my nose, but not for my brush. Here we go. Bear with me while I just mute my microphone. Thank you so much. No one needs to see that. Ruba says, no painting for me today, but I did have to varnish Genestealer Cult's army this morning. Hostile Galaxy changed into a paint studio and has its own competitive 40k team as well now. That is very exciting. Well done. So when you say a paint studio, is it a painting studio like what this is like a painting club? Or do you do more like tutorials and workshops and things like that? Really exciting. Our first event was last weekend at Warzone Houston. I saw your article go up on Facebook, and you came 10th out of the top 108. Is that correct? If so, well done. Have I played 40k recently? No, I haven't, and I've actually been talking to some friends about that quite recently. A little bit more on that later in the show. But you know, for me, the first love was always just kind of painting them, and especially I remember all the second edition artwork and lore and things, and I remember it just so immersive. And I look back at it now, and of course it does look quite funny in some places and a little bit kooky, but I remember like seeing pictures of like massive Space Marine armies disappearing off into the vast distance, and just like, you know, plasma rounds being spent across the battlefield, and you know, things like that. And it was just, when you're like a 13-year-old boy, that just played right into my court of everything exciting, and you know, so naturally I was just going to like pick up the models that I wanted and just painted them, and eventually I did make a little army, and I just played with what I wanted. Unfortunately, as far as I remember, second edition was quite punishing for that, you know, like the rule of cool. Well, certainly I felt that way. So I very rarely, if ever, won a game. I did win a few, I think. My regular opponent was my friend Mark, who played an Eldar army and was a very competent player, and played Eldar, which, as we know, is a very competitive army. So beat me quite regularly, but that's okay. And that was when I fell in love with Tyranids. Space Marine army and a Tyranid army that didn't really kind of follow any sort of order. I just basically had what I wanted, and I just played with that, and then he played with what he wanted as well. Screw the codexes. So yeah, I didn't even know the rules. My friend just knew them off by heart because he's a bit of a savant, and yeah, we just played that way. Years later, here we are, still playing. It's the thing that kind of united me and all my friends. It was great. So Ruben says, Painting Studio does commissions, but hoping to do some videos at some point as well. That's cool. Oh, well done for branching out into that little world. I assume that you're still kind of working around that as well, and this is kind of a bit on the side. Interesting. Thank you, that's correct. I managed 10th place out of about 108. Well done. That's really good. I would be really proud of that. John from Atlas World Models and Mini says, I play Space Wolves and I also play a Death Guard force with my son. That's cool. I don't have kids to play with. I have lots of friends who are all big kids. I couldn't have kids. I'm just far too mental. I work with kids every day, so that's always cool. Right, let's get some more silver in the palette. Just going to give it another shake up because I think it's been a while since I've used them. Oh, don't chuck it. Crikey. And I'm going to stick that back in the Wasmatic, just in case he's watching. Just for you. The Easy 8 Wasmatic. Give it a Waz. It's not rude. It just sounds that way. That's a motto. I didn't practice that just came out. I'm sorry to any easily offended people that might be watching this now or in the future. I'm British, I'm not allowed to be crude. We all talk like James Bond and go to Cambridge. Okay, I think I can leave the top part of this model for now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to have another look and just see how that progresses down the bottom here. So you can see, if I just put orange over to the side here, so I'll look at red. You can see here that this little plate here is painted red, and it's got all the mechanisms, the hips, the torso, twisty bit in there, all the way around goes silver. But he hasn't thought about it very well getting to here. So this bit here, there's a little transition there. I don't know if that's showing up on the camera very well. I've got that thing in front of it. There's a little transition here where this plate here, I spat then, that's a first, sorry. This plate ends here and that silver's got a cut off, and on this side it's a little bit harder to see, and he's kind of almost brushed onto it a little bit, being a bit, I don't know, cavalier, which is strange because he's almost so good and accurate. Not that this isn't good, this is an amazing model. So I've got to try and paint it around there. And then, yeah, okay, cool. So I've got to be careful of this little plate here and these hip plates here and along there as well. Okay, cool. Ruben says, I really like hearing about how people got into the hobby. I was absolutely fascinated with NIDS from the moment I saw some models in a game store back at the beginning of 3rd edition. Yeah, not so long after I came into it. I believe it was my dad, Jeff, who's just there in the live chat. Kind of found some in a charity shop in a carry bag and brought them all home. I was like, I don't know what these are all about. Started painting them. I loved them. I thought they were brilliant. I still got them somewhere. Of those original Geniuses, I have a box of 42 of them. Yeah, I know. The old Star ones as well. Yeah, I loved it. I loved everything about it back then, and I still love it all about it now. And it's just got richer as it's all kind of gone on. The one thing I hope that Games Workshop don't do, and it's going to sound like a bit of a rant, and it's not, is I value the Primaris Marines, the new chunky boys, but I hope they don't get rid of the old school ones. I hope that they keep them both, because it does look like that they are setting up to do that. Looks like they've been doing that for a while. Like have the new guys for sure, but keep the old ones. I'm a big fan of the old tactical Marines, just yeah, traditional, because of all of that homage, right? All of that old stuff, all of those memories. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Jeff says, I can mould off some off-world terrain for you if you like to get back into 40k. You can print them up on your paint them up on your show. Yes, that'd be great. And we can actually get the old moulds out, and we can actually let them out to the public as well. That'd be great, wouldn't it? I've actually got a couple of them here somewhere. Perhaps we can do that at some point in a future show. If you're interested in the off-world terrain range through Purple Line Creations, go and have a look at his website. Or go and have a chat with him. He's right there. We've shipped to the US loads of times. We actually had, I say we, because I helped you, Jeff, that is. I helped with organising the shipment over to the States with Derek Osborne, who is quite big on the scene over there in the miniature world. And he actually did a video review on it some years ago now, if you cast your memory back. So if you're interested in seeing it all, you could see Derek do an unboxing of it all. We sent so much stuff to him. I'm trying to be so careful. As I'm trying to paint the sort of the underside of the torso here, trying not to get it on the orange of the top of that hip plate, just here. If I do, when you're looking down on it, you'll be able to see it, and that will make me crazy in the head. So I don't want to do that. We're getting quite close to having a break, so if you do need to have a break, like I probably could just do with, I don't know, not dying for a minute, it'll be great. We'll go to break soon. Yes, you can see me going back over bits I've already done when I'm still painting one little area, but I just saw a bit that I'd missed, so I thought I'd go in there quickly. That's not ADHD, that is just attention to detail, which I'd argue is what ADHD is anyway. I have it in spades. I'm the only person I know that can have 6 conversations and be the only person in the room. Might need to get out a different size paintbrush in a minute, that'll be exciting. Just trying to make sure that I give everything at least a good coat down here before I move on. What I might do is just avoid those complicated bits for now. Just while I'm still warming up. It's been a couple of weeks since I've got the paintbrushes out, remember. So I'm a little bit hazardous, a little bit hectic, and a little bit excited, frankly. Because it is just really nice to see it all coming together. Okay. Yep, do you know what? I'm going to go to a smaller paintbrush. I'm going to go down to my 0. Ruben says, which gunmetal did you say you were using? It looks good. I'm not using a gunmetal right now. I'm using Vallejo's standard chainmail silver. It's not showing up on the light with the lights there at all. Chainmail silver. Yeah, this is just a really good silver. It's very close to the standard silver, which I believe is lead, not a lead belcher, iron something. Can't quite remember. This is their old chainmail silver, basically from Citadel. Very close to that colour. What my friend Dave has done with this particular model, I believe he's gone in with some null. Excuse me. And then just dry brushed it back out again to bring like a little bit of a brushed silver look back in there. What I do is I use the chainmail silver and then I go over with a 50-50 watered down mix of silicanum grey, which is a contrast paint, and I use that the same way you would non-oil, and the effects are astounding and they really work very well with that colour silver. What I started to do in the search for the perfect silver was I started looking for a realistic one. So I went to Vallejo's Real Metal Colours, or Metal Colour, and they do all sorts of, they do like bright aluminium right down to dark, you know, irons, and they do bronzes and golds and things. So I went for steel. This is a beautiful colour, but it just, I think, was a little bit hard to handle on my little Skitari units. So I'm unsure if I'm gonna like continue to use this on them. I do like the way that the old Vallejo works on my old miniatures. It just has a certain appeal to it. But on the bigger things, like these guys, when I haven't first started doing them in orange, or on like the legs of armigers or even knights, I will use this because it's really good. It does require, and as almost necessary really, a glossy surface primer as well. So this is a gloss black primer, which then you spray that real metal colour over the top, and it has to be airbrushed to get the best results out of it. It is phenomenal. I've actually got, where did I put them? Oh, don't tell me I put them away just when someone's talking to me about them. Some grimdark Necrons done in that colour. They are absolutely brilliant. Oh, I haven't got my autofocus on, so I have to go back here. So yeah, you can see it. I probably went a bit over the top with the grimming on them, but yeah, I think they look cool. Out this world, models and minis. I had a Rogue Trader. I had Rogue Trader. Bought that when it first came out. Been playing on and off for years. Loved the Beaky Marines. I think I got into it in 1993. Yeah, 93, 94. So I think second edition will be going for a couple of years. I think when Warhammer really kind of took to the stage. So I didn't do Rogue Trader. However, I've got quite a large bunch of friends who are a bit older than me, and they all remember Rogue Trader, and they say the same sort of thing. They love the beacon rings, they love all that traditional old stuff. And yeah, you're absolutely right. It's fantastic. I see people talking about Warhammer now, and they have the same sort of love for the stuff that's fairly new to us. And I just think that Warhammer's going to be a long-lived thing, and I think that's quite fantastic. I think it's quite beautiful. Cool. I'm going to have a sip of tea, and I'm going to carry on painting here for a minute, but we are getting ready for a break. So if you are going to stick around for the rest of the show, maybe go and grab yourself a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And I just picked up the wrong brush. Yeah, go get yourself a cup of tea, get yourself a cup of coffee, maybe go to the bathroom, stretch your legs, refocus your eyes. I'm going to have a coughing and a sneezing fit. I can see that's coming. That's coming on. And of course, if you've just joined us, let me know what it is that you're working on, because I really want to know. So maybe you're joining in later on after the show's aired, and you've got some projects on the go. I actually genuinely really want to know what it is that you're painting. So if you are working on a project, take some pictures, stick them up on Discord, put them on our Facebook page if you can. It has been touchy lately. Apologies for that. It's not my fault. It's Facebook's fault, actually. Yeah, I'd love to know. Tell us all about it. Have you recently finished a project that you want to celebrate? Are you struggling with a particular project, or just the amount of work? That's what I'm struggling with at the moment. More on that after the intermission. But in the meantime, if you are going to go away... Oh, here we go. A couple of comments going in. I'd love to hear that outlook. I hope Warhammer continues for a while. I hope it carries on indefinitely, really. Kid is asleep. Got to get back to work now. Have a great rest of the stream. Nice chatting with you. See you again, Ruben. It's been really nice to catch up with you again. Take care, Matt, and I'll see you soon. And in the meantime, I'm going to go for a break. And you should go for one too. And you should definitely go and change your paint water, especially if you've been working with silver. Go do it now. Bye-bye. Welcome back. Did I go and change my paint water? No, because I don't like to listen to my own advice. But I hope you guys had a good break. I did manage to cough and splutter. I'm starting to run out of energy, but I'm good to go. I'm going to carry on for the rest of the evening because I'm actually having a really good time here. Just in my little meditative zen, painting silver away. If you are new to the show, don't forget to like, share, subscribe if you like what we do here, because every little bit really helps me make this show more of the good stuff for you guys, so that you got some company with you. And just generally because I like it, and right now I'm accepting hugs and any kind of online warmth, so if you could subscribe, that would be great. Thanks very much. Also, if you are doing something this evening, if you are working on a project, maybe not this evening, or maybe when you watch this back later on, just put a photo up on Discord or on Facebook, because I'm actually genuinely interested in knowing what it is that you're doing. I understand that I'm talking fast right now, but I know it's only a matter of time before I cough again, so I'm going to try and slow it down. Anyway, let's go back over to the workbench and see how I'm getting on. Excuse me. Oh dear, here we go. Cool, quite a few viewers on today. One of the things I'm really happy with, really happy with, is that actually our view count is going through the roof. This is something that I've commented on recent weeks. Like, some of our videos occasionally goes into the hundreds, and I don't know why, because our regular view count is about sort of 20-25. So on those occasional weeks, there must be something going on in the world, of the hobby world. Is there a release with 40k or Warhammer? Is there something going on out there that it's making people or drawing people to the show? But recently there has been a steady increase in views to the show, and it's quite a common thing now for our videos to be viewed up into the 60s, which is a triple of our regular count. So if that's down to you, whoever's watching this right now, thank you very much for coming along and being a part of it. It's made mildly for its entertainment value, but also mostly just to kind of keep you company. We're not all pros out there, but you can be a pro and come along as well. It's a lonely hobby sometimes when you look at that big pile of unpainted grey plastic and you think, oh my god, am I ever going to get through this? No. no. It just goes on. So come and join the team. Yeah, it's all fine here. So I've got the torso done, all that engine stuff in there and all the way around that I had to get right in underneath. It took me all of the breaks to kind of get that done, but without the pressure of running the show, I was able to kind of get that done quite calmly. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to start on the outside of the legs here, and I'm going to work my way from the hip to the knee, and I'm going to work my way around. These pipes here, I'm going to keep it consistent with all the Skitarii models that I've been doing recently. I'm going to do those black. I like my hoses to be black. So here we go. Let's go in. I'm going to do a bit more paint on that brush. I am sorry for being poorly and making the show just a little bit bleh. Definitely wash your hands after the show, everybody. Oh, look at that, I've got silver right on that. Now I've got to wash all that paint out of that brush just to clean that off. It was all going so well. Pick up some water on the brush, saturate the area. There we go, I can hide that with weathering later, that's fine. Cool, brilliant. Okay, back again. Don't ruin it this time. It's just painting in and around those orange bits there. Just trying to be steady. Take my time. I saw one of the best bits of advice on a video, as you do, you're kind of looking for a little bit of inspiration, or just kind of, just chilling out for 10 minutes when you've got a bit of time and you put a video on your phone or something. And I forget what video it was. It was just one of those ones that just kind of came up by surprise, really. And it was one of those sort of paint better if you do this immediately thing, and I normally avoid those sorts of videos, but actually it was just a sound bit of advice, and that's just do it. don't waste all your time planning it or any of that nonsense. I mean, obviously plan a little bit, but you can get so caught up in, you know, what do I need, how am I going to approach it, that sometimes you just put it off and off and off, and you just lose all that motivation. Just get on and have a go, because it's the power of repetition, right? That's what makes us better. You can't just pick it up and have planned it out and then just be good. And if that puts you off, sorry. You do actually have to have a good go at it. You have to practice, and just by painting lots and lots. Yeah, first of all, do you know what? They might suck. Sorry, but keep on going, because I'm sure they're not sucking that bad, and eventually you'll get quite good at it. And that's my biggest thing is I overplan, and I do love a gadget, or I do love a tool, or I do love a product, you know, and I just you can get so caught up in it. A little bit of fluff that just won't leave me alone. Please go away. I don't want you. Thanks. It's a little bit thick, that paint, so I'm just going to add just a little bit of water. So talking about the masses of miniatures to paint, I am very lucky in the fact that some viewers out there have given me some things to paint in the past, and I've acquired bits and pieces over the years, as you do. A charity shop find here, or a little deal here, or whatever, or just something that I've had for years that I just haven't got around to painting. We're all criminals for it. We've all got that sort of stuff going on. But since starting up the show, I've had some very generous benefactors donating models into me, to the point where I've got so much I don't ever see me in my lifetime painting them all. And the gentleman who has painted, or gave me these particular models that I'm painting today, recently gave me his entire Necromunda collection, to the point where I actually had a mild panic attack. I just don't know how to tackle it, so it's all gone into storage for a little while, where I can just kind of come at it slowly over a period of time and just kind of work out what I want to do with it. It's incredibly generous, and it is, I consider it a bit of a treasure hoard. But it wasn't just me. There were others in the community out there who aren't online tonight, who live nearby, and my friend Dave was just basically having a big life clear out. It's just like, I haven't got the space to store this anymore, and it's just material things. And I was like, well, of course I'll take them from you. And I said to him, if you feel like in a year's time or 10 years time that you have made a mistake and you want all of your stuff back, because it's a lot, man, please just say and I'll give them back to you. And he's like, no, don't be silly, it's yours. I'd rather someone have them and give them all the love that they deserve. So I have 2 full game box sets of Necromunda and all of the expansions and miniatures to go with. It's crazy. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. Like, if giving me a good portion of a Skitarii army wasn't enough, I'm flabbergasted by the generosity of it. And my friends have recently picked up from the same guy. One of them in particular picked up 2 complete box sets of Blood Bowl and all the extra bits and pieces as well. And it has just been a very generous couple of days, to the point where I don't really know what to do with it, and I suppose that's me being incredibly British. Thank you, Dave. Again, I know you don't have time to watch the show in around your busy life, but thank you so much. I feel that it's important to have that as a permanent public record of my gratitude. Very, very kind. So yes, I have even more stuff to paint now, and like I say, I'm struggling to come to terms with how much I've got to paint. But you know, it might be nice to do a bit on the show here and there, or you know, perhaps I can even like give some of it away or whatever. I don't know yet. I don't know. We'll see what happens. The intention, of course, was to take it and use it and love it. And I did love playing Necromunda. I just never had any time to like run it, which my friend Dave always used to do. And yeah, I just wow. What do you do now? I suppose I play Necromunda now, right? I suppose it means that I've got models to practice on and do, but this ties into what I was saying a minute ago, which of course, if you've got all this stuff to paint, just get on and paint. Don't fuss, don't over plan. Just have a go. And that's what my friends were talking to me about yesterday when I was having a bit of a wobble, a bit of a moment. I just don't know, like, why have I even got this stuff? Do I just give it back? Do I give it away? I'm not sure there's people out there be like, yeah, give it away, I'll have it, but the intention, of course, was to permanently look after it, I suppose. As a gift. Treat it as though. So yeah, lots of stuff. I'm struggling to get this brush in and around some of the details here. Although I have to say that went rather well. I'm gonna have to get a really thin brush in, just in here in this little knee piece, where it just, I don't think it picks up on the camera, so it's such a small piece, but it does show up. Excuse me. Just beside the knee plate and beside the joint, if you like. I have to get a really tiny brush in there to have a little go on that as well. You know, I thought that the under the torso bit was the hardest bit, but actually this is proving to be quite a challenge. Just making sure that I don't get it on those orange parts. I think that in the future painting the orange over the top of the silver will be easier. Yes, there's the will it go over the in one coat issue, but I think I've solved that problem. I have a malfunction on my monitor. There's a big line going right down the side there, big blue. I hope that's not showing up on your end there. I hope that's just a monitor failure and not a streaming failure. It is a crappy old monitor that I just kind of dug out somewhere. Jeff says, all the things you wanted as a child, you can now buy. No time to paint it, but you can have it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, you know, like, a lot of it wasn't painted when we played with it. He just bought so much. And, you know, when you buy board games, all the parts often aren't all painted. Well, when you know, so some games aren't. They're just, they're pieces, aren't they? They're not models as such. So he, like, painted his personal little gang of, you know, models up. I painted my little setup, but a lot of the terrain, bits and pieces, were just some of them were painted as he kind of got his way through it, but there were vast swathes of it that were it was just about the game, not about the painting. In that 40k was our painting lives, Necromunda was our let's get together and have some fun at work, because we have a lot of space at work, so we all kind of got together there. We work together. That's how we know each other. Jeff says there's no line on my screen. Good, it's just my monitor then, that's fine. Keep going, Danny, you're doing fine, you're doing alright. Tough gig. This little bit in here is going to be hard to get in there. Yeah. Okay, it's looking good though, isn't it? I'm really enjoying that. It's really breaking it up, making it look much more real, I suppose. Much more imposing, a lot less toyish. like John said earlier, it will look better when it's all been weathered as well. A bit more water in that, just a touch. It's better. A couple of rogue bristles on this brush. Don't want those kind of wandering across the model as I'm trying to avoid the orange. Oh, okay, cool. Getting somewhere. Realise I'm out of shot there, but it's that was quite a challenging little section to paint. There's a few additional armour plates behind that front one, and I was just contemplating painting them silver. But actually I'm going to keep those orange because, well, they're armour plates. So, yeah, it's armour, it gets orange. If it's kind of mechanical bits, it gets silvered. I've actually just got a tiny dot of silver on the orange there. I can see it. It's going to get that before it dries. Because it shows up so strong. Again, I'll weather that out later as well. So if it doesn't like completely clean away, it's fine. I'll weather it out. Jeff says it has totally changed its look, putting the silver on. It's looking nice, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, you're right. I think it's looking good. What I might do is not do both legs. I'll just do like this arm as well, so that when viewing it from the side, you can kind of get like an overall idea of how it's going to look on both sides, if that makes sense. I've done it again, got silver on the orange. Alright, I'll just get rid of this silver paint by putting it down somewhere. I think I'm getting tired, that's what it is. That's what's happening here. Okay. Oh, look at that. What a horror. Come on now. Shame, but okay, cool, got most of that off. Again, I'll weather that out. Am I spending too much time on this one little area here? Where's it going? Okay, so the back of it basically is but this three-pronged plate here. It's going to stay orange, but just around the outside of it is silver. Not going to paint in between those, that's going to be quite difficult. Well, I bet Dave did. He did not. Ha ha ha! Cool. I'll just put some shade in there later on. Let's have a little look, see what he's done. Yeah, okay, there is a little bit around the top just in there. Let's, I have to reposition myself. Another comment going in. I'm locking off, says John. I'll finish the show tonight when I get home. Take care, feel better. Thank you very much, John. Thanks for keeping me company. See you later, and congratulations once again on the promotion. Well done. Okay. This is actually really hard work. Okay, cool. That's the back part of that done. Now you can see I've still got to do the front here as well. That's a little bit just on the side of the hip up here that I want to do as well, but I'm going to get a smaller brush out of that. There's a few parts where I'm going to have to go right down to a tiny little brush, I think. Again, just a couple of comparisons. Yeah, okay, I can see what he's done. Same as what I want to do. Gone around back again because it's easier to get to that part that I'm trying to paint from this side. I'm actually putting faces, tongues out. Got a little bit on the hose there, but that's okay. So I pulled the paintbrush out a little bit, but I'm going to go over that later anyway, so that's fine. Okay, that's cool. Right, I'm going to get a thinner brush out. I'm actually going to put some new paint in the thing, in the palette. It's 8:30 already here. I'm actually having a really productive and really enjoyable evening. Sometimes it all feels like a little bit of a slog, but today I'm enjoying it. It's really good. Okay, got a couple of brushes here. So here's a little thing to consider with narrow brushes or fine tip points. This one here looks like it's a bit old and shabby, but that's okay. This one's got a really wide ferrule on it, so when you're trying to like get it right in between some tiny details or whatever, sometimes it can kind of get jammed, but it had a really good point on this one. This one here is a much finer ferrule, it's like a little bit older, but it might be just kind of what I need. So I might need to neaten it up a little bit. I'm just going to see if I can just lick those wild bristles into place where it doesn't want to. Okay, it's playing ball a little bit, that's fine. Okay, let's see what happens. Bit the pallet. Bit of water on those bristles. Not too crazy. There we go. Okay. Let's start just here on this knee here. Yeah, I do have a couple of rogue bristles here. If I've got some tweezers, I can just basically pull those out. They're not the best tweezers for pulling out bristles, but let's see if they will work. There's one, and I've got another. Oh, this one wants to fight me. Okay, I'm going to get a scalpel out. You've made me do it. Oh, it's a tough one, this one. It does not want to budge. Right, dead now. Cool, move on with our lives. I will not be bested by inanimate objects. It just will not happen. Jeff says, I'm going through books here trying to find pics of early Dutch farms, Dutch versus Zulus wars, South Africa. I think I'll just Google it. What a colourful life I lead. It does sound quite fun though. I mean, you're talking to the guy who ends up like researching wheels on tanks. Quite enjoy that aspect of it all. Touch wood. Out. Just making sure I've got everywhere. A couple of bits I've missed over there. It's fine. Let's go and sort that out. Just some little bits where I think I was being a bit precious. So I used to use these brushes all the time, but I stopped doing it because I wanted basically more expensive brushes. So when I got my more expensive brushes, I was going to chuck them out. But I thought, you know what, no, I'll keep them because I'm sure there'll be a time when they're useful. Glad I did. guy starts to look so much better. I'm really happy with it. Really, really happy. Yeah, looks dead mean. Gonna stay with this brush for the moment because there's some details in here where I think my other brushes, my good ones, are just a little bit too beefy. There's this little detail here you can see just at the ankle here that my friend Dave has painted these bits in here silver, and I like that. Oh, itchy head. I'm gonna use my paintbrush. Adds a bit of variation to the model. I like that. That's good. That's all cool. Now we've got all the mechanics down here, which again you can just see they're all exposed silver, but then there's this kind of cap, if you like, over the ankle. That's going to stay orange, but everything else in there is going to be silver. And then you've got like the, I suppose, the heel here, and the toes are going to be armor plates, but again everything else in there all metal. So going to transfer out to the other brush again. There's a little bit inside in here where I didn't actually get the colour orange in there when I was airbrushing it, but it doesn't matter because actually I'm doing it all silver inside by brush, so it is now all painted, which is great. Arch to the foot as well, which on Dave's one is all silver. Yeah, it's all silver in there. Okay. Oh, I was going on to the wrong one then. Stay on this foot. Excuse me. Still croaky. Got a couple of days off coming up, which is going to be great. Just going to sit at home and do a little bit of recovery, I think. Was going to be going out tomorrow for the big Easy 8 road trip, which we've been planning here on the show for quite some time. If you cast your memory back a few months ago now, we did a little Easy 8 road trip where myself and loads of people from the community all got together and we went down to Bovington Tank Museum for the Southwest Model Show, where they basically just have lots of cool tank models painted by enthusiasts displayed in and around their actual life counterparts with something really, really cool. and we all went down and we had an absolutely wicked time. We had such a wonderful time that everybody agreed we'd all want to go again. And you know, I certainly won't pass up on the opportunity to get with the gang again, and to go and hang out with really cool tanks. The thing is that when we went down there, the models and everything and all the displays were absolutely wonderful, but we wanted to see all the museum stuff too. But a lot of the displays and things were in the way of a lot of bits and pieces. So we thought, well, do you know what? This is a perfect opportunity, a perfect reason to go back and have another look and go back over all the things that were just slightly out of sight. Of course, we weren't complaining about the fact that models were there. We went down for the models, but we want to go back and make a bigger thing of it. We were going to be going tomorrow, but I'm not the only one that's poorly. And it just makes a lot more sense to go another time. So we're not going tomorrow. We are going to be going to Bovington Tank Museum in Dorset on the 1st of October, which is a week tomorrow. So if you are interested in coming out with the EZ8 community, by all means, the more the merrier. I would love to see you there. Just going to wash off some more silver that I kind of accidentally brushed all over that orange there. Look at that. That's awful. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. That is, look at that's a crazy amount that's gone in there. Yep, getting tired clearly. Yes, if you would want to come and join us, the more the merrier. I've been speaking to quite a few people out there in the community over on Discord at the end of the show, saying that people would actually like to come down for the day from wherever. It's very easy to get to. So if you want to come down by train, that's cool. Bovington Tank Museum is just a little off the side of the main town. It's a very small area. The museum is very easy to find, so if you wanted to get a taxi from the train station, it's really easy to do. Everybody in the area knows where the tank museum is, because it's a huge military installation as well. So yes, come along and have a join in and come and have a merry with the rest of us and myself, of course, and you get to meet me and I will sign autographs. I'm not that famous, but I will do it. But yes, like I was saying, we were going to do that this weekend, but we can't because we are all poorly. Well, we can, but we're just all poorly, and there were some people that had other commitments as well. So it's a great opportunity to get everyone together, make sure that everyone is recovered. Come along. We all have tickets, because they're annual tickets, so you can, once you pay, you can go as much as you want within a year of your ticket purchase date. We all went once before, so we all going to go for free. But if you didn't go with us the last time and you haven't got an annual ticket already, they only cost £14.50. So yeah, it's really cheap, really cheap, and a lot of their money, or most of their money, goes into maintaining the museum, which, you know, that's a cool thing, right? Do it. I'm going to get a bit of airbrush cleaner on that overflow of silver that I got in there, because it just looks awful. It's a bit of a bad job, that is. Darren Ed Vananimus has joined us. Hi Darren, evening, he says. How are you doing, mate? I hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you for a little while. As you can tell, I'm poorly. I'm really struggling at the moment, just to try and keep my breath out, sniffing all the time. So my apologies for sounding all bunged up. I'm just going into a drawer of stuff over here. Got some cleaner. This is just airbrush cleaner. I just put like a little drop of it on my brush, and it's actually quite good for just kind of cleaning up bits that you missed. This is a little thing that Luke has told me. Luke Gallia, who normally joins us in the show. It's just like, yeah, man, just get like a little bit of this. It's great. And he's absolutely right. There we go. I just want to get into a little dropper bottle because it's much easier to handle. All I'm going to do is I just put a little drop there on the workbench, and then I just come in with my brush. Just get a little bit on the end. Not going to go crazy for it because it will take off previous colours, but the colour that I've put on recently is obviously still slightly fresh, and this, look at that, just cleans it right up. But if you go too aggressive, you'll work your way through the layers. It's like an alcohol base there, and my mistakes are gone. Are there any other bits and pieces that I want to? Yeah, there's a little bit over here, just on this piece here. It's a little bit dry from earlier on, but it is still fresh today. There we go, done. And that's that. Oh, I think I'm going to need to blow my nose again, so bear with me while I mute the microphone. I do apologise. I apologise. Sometimes it's got to be done. We all get poorly from time to time, right? Trick is stay happy and do what you like doing, which is painting models for me. So I've got a little bit of work just left to do down here on the foot, just on the inside there, which is going to be a little bit difficult to do. So I'm going to get my little narrow tip brush out and yeah, see if I can just get in there. Got a couple of choices again. I can go with the pointier one or the thinner one. I'm going to go with the thinner one because the whole paintbrush is thinner and it means I can get into the nooks and crannies. Stafford is here. Sorry I'm late. I'm here. I knew you would do at some point, Stafford. Welcome to the show. You missed the surprise that I put in just for you earlier on. You can go back and watch it later. Maybe I will do it again for you. Yeah, do you know what? I'll do it again for you. Don't go back right now. Come and join us. So Stafford and Darren, he's been out doing campfires with the scouts. Oh yeah, cool. Way more important. We were just talking about the Tank Museum and the Easy 8 trip that we've been planning for a little while. I was just talking about how you, myself, and a whole bunch of others in the community have been planning to go back to the Tank Museum as a group for a while. We were planning on going this week, but we got poorly. There were some people that couldn't make it, so it just made a lot of sense to go back another week. So we're all going to go out on the 1st. That has been the general plan, the general consensus, is we're all going to go on the 1st. If you are interested in that, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on Discord, or even drop a comment in here on YouTube. I read all the comments that go on every single platform all the time, and I do try to reply to them all regularly. So if you want to go along, you've got questions, or you just kind of want to get talking about it, hit me up. I will reply. So I can help you. Unfortunately, I don't have the money because this is a non-profit show. I don't have the money to be able to pay for people to take them to it, but I can help you book your tickets, arrange the days, etc. So yeah, if you want to go, let me know, because it'll be great to hang out with the Easy 8 community. And I will talk about it more on Facebook, so keep an eye peeled on the Facebook channel, and I will talk about it on next week's show as well. Hopefully by that point everybody is feeling much better. Just seeing a couple little bits that I've missed there. As paint is drying, I can see it. Wonderful, cool. Bovington road trip, says Stafford. Yeah, man, I'm really excited. It's a shame we couldn't go tomorrow, but you know what? Let's just go when we're all feeling well, because it'll just be more enjoyable, right? It'll just be better. I don't want to be going around a cold museum going. It'll just be gross. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so I've done this leg. This leg is now done. Like I said, I don't want to do both legs at the same time. I want to do this arm as well now, so that you can kind of see how he's going to look from one side, kind of completed, if you like, if that makes sense. He does have these little bits in here as well, just in front of his toes, which I'm going to paint silver. I think Dave has done his silver too. I'm not one for just kind of painting random details for the sake of painting random details. That one just looked like it would have been better, so I was correct. It does look better. Right, so, okay, let's go back to the other brush. Excuse me, I am proper poorly. Oh, do you know what, Stafford? Look, I need to get some more paint. I'll just shake this paint up and I'll put it on the Wazomatic You know what you've got to do? Yeah, I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for him. There's a delay. I'm going to give him some time. I don't actually need to put any paint in the palette. I just kind of, I did this for him. Come on, put it in there. I'm using the Easy 8 Wazomatic. I'm literally wasting time just for a simple joke. Come on, Stafford. Come on. Getting carpal tunnel syndrome here. He's not going to do it, is he? It's the Wazomatic, Stafford. You know, Wazomatic. There it is. Wazomatic. Wazomatic. You're welcome. God, dear. All that for a one-liner. That goes my throat. Anyway, I did that just for you. I said I'd get around to it tonight. Oh, it turns out I actually could do with a bit of paint in the palette, but not just yet. So yeah, why are their fists a different colour? That's a good question. Basically, I just took it from the codex, from the book, because this particular army, their main colour is orange. I just chose orange because it was a colour that I wanted to have a go at, but they apparently pay homage or like a salute or a nod to their Martian counterparts by using the Martian red colour, and they put it on their inside of their cloaks. So if you look at my Skitarii Rangers here, for example, you can see that the outside of his cloak is orange and the inside is lined with a crimson red. So when I looked at these guys in the Codex book, their main colour was orange and their fists were red because they don't wear cloaks. So that's why. Love it, Sister. You're welcome. I did that just before we went live earlier on. Wazomatic. It's ridiculous. I do actually need some paint in the palette, so that was actually quite a well-timed joke, actually. Are you painting anything this evening, Staff, or are you just coming along for the social? Because I was telling everybody earlier on about my recent treasure hoard, and that friends of mine have also come into some recent giftings and collections, and without wanting to, give too much of a personal life away, you were one of those people, and we now have quite a large collection of stuff to paint. So I wonder if you are painting something new today, inspired by your recent giftings. It was very, very kind of him, wasn't it? That's a good silver colour. Is that the Citadel? Yes, it is the Citadel one. As I said at the beginning of the show, I wanted to use the real colour silver that I got from Vallejo, but it has to be airbrushed on, and I've already painted this guy orange. So what I'm going to do is I'll paint this guy by brush using the Citadel, the standard Citadel colours that I've used in the past, and in future ones that I paint, I will have a go at airbrushing them with the real silver, the metal colour silver, which is this shiny effort here, and just compare it and see how it goes, and then of course I'll have to by hand paint all the orange on. What I've learned today by hand painting all the silver is I think it will actually be easier to hand paint the orange, so swings and roundabouts, it's a choice, right? Sam says, just a social drinking some beer after a night of burning stuff. Oh yeah, cool. I'm actually thinking about having some booze after the show too. I started just before the show with a strong vodka, and in my weakened state, I wondered if it was a good choice. it was good. It got me through the first 40 minutes or so. I might go and have another. So yeah, I am struggling along. But it's been a productive evening. Like, I knew I wasn't going to get onto anything other than the silver today, but it's going really well. So yay for me. Anyway, we are coming to the end of the show. So if you've got anything that you want to talk about, or any pressing, desire to ask a question, or pass on some information, that was the time to do it. what I would be really interested to hear from everybody else, of course, is how is everything working as a viewer? Are the music levels good? Is the mic quality good? I know the mic quality isn't that great, and I am working on getting this bad boy put in from the. I can't see at the moment, can you? Know, it's slightly out of shot. But if you remember from last week, I've got a proper studio mic now installed. But I'm not a sound engineer, and I'm not very good at setting up the quality that it needs to be set up with. All the fine-tuning is taking some time, and of course while I've been sorting out the computer, that's taken a bit of a backbench for now. But I will get back onto that as soon as I can. But I want to know, are the volume levels good? What's the focus like on the camera? How's that working? I've turned autofocus off on this overhead one here because it just gets a bit much. It's a webcam, it can't deal with changing focus all the time. I would like to, when I've got some money, spend a decent amount on a really nice DSLR camera, which will just allow me to have everything in focus all the time, and it would just be a very nice thing to acquire for Easy 8. That of course is going to take a lot of money, and bit by bit you don't have to have all the gear and no idea. Excuse me. Just trying to get the silver in over the top of the inside of the shoulder, and unfortunately if I don't, it stands out. But trying to poke these bristles in, they just flay when that happens, and I'm just in danger of getting silver everywhere. So it looks like a job for narrow brush. Well, I've got narrow brush here, I've got pointy brush. So I'm going to go with pointy brush and just see how it performs, but the ferrule is quite chunky on it, so it might be a bad choice. Let's give it a go. Seemed to work quite well. I think I still need to get narrow brush out. Yeah, I'm going to need to get narrow brush out because it's longer. It's got longer, thinner bristles on it, and I can just basically stuff those bristles right up inside the area that I need to get the paint into. So I'll just load that up a little bit. Don't have to be too prissy with the amount of paint on there. I'm just going to basically pack it out. Got a little bit on the orange there, but I've got a little way to recover from that now. Excellent, and it's all gone in. Lovely. I've gone on a bit heavy with the silver paint here and there, which I think is going to be an advantage with painting all the silver with an airbrush. Now it's got kind of like Iron Man hands, so inside, can you see there's like a circle and some stuff in there? Shall I do all that silver inside? I think I should. I could do the joints between the finger silver as well, but again, don't necessarily want to just do details for the sake of details. I'm going to get pointy brush out. I think that will help with the details there. There is like a thumb knuckle in here that I think if I went in, yeah, that's working well. little ball joint, and it's got the insides of the fingers here. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to cheat a little bit here. I'm just going to kind of slap that paint in, and then I'm going to come in with a bit of airbrush cleaner, and I'm going to neaten up the edges. That feels a bit cheaty, and I could also go back over with some red as well if I wanted to. I'm going to try and be careful with it. I don't want to do this. This feels like a little bit of a cheat. But if it works, right? But remember also, I've got a wash kind of loosely all over this guy, and if I go over this I will start taking that wash off as well, and it will make him look a bit rubbish, I think. Brush isn't doing it. Let's come back to this one. No, I don't think that's going to work. That's not going to be such an easy idea. So what I'll do is I'll just I'll fill those joints up with a little bit of silver, and then I'll just have to neaten up the red around. That's okay. Lessons learned, right? It won't take very long to do. And of course what I really want to do is just get the insides of those fingers to silver, because it just seems to break up all that monotonous red colour in there, and again, just like John was saying earlier on, just stops it from looking toyish. I think I am going to do the inside of the hand, so I'll just load the brush up now. You're not really going to see in here, but it's one of those things, isn't it? Peace of mind. I know that it's that colour, so here we go. Oh, I've just painted my camera and given it a good old nudge there. I apologise for that. I'll get that paint off. Yeah, I'm getting tired. Okay. Look, do you know what? I'm done for tonight. That's really good. I like it. It's awesome. I am going to do the same on the arm and leg on this side, and then it's got a couple of little details just on the front, like there's a little eagle there, there's a little speaker, I believe, and some like connections, whatever they are. And then that's it. That's the silver, blocked in. I will go over and do a quick second coat. It doesn't need much of it, so I can be quite quick and brutal with it, I think. Just make sure that it's got good coverage. I am going to go over with a wash of the silicon grey or watered down, and that will hopefully make that stand out quite a bit. It's looking really cool. Really, really cool. It was the right move, was just matching up to here. I've actually done more silver on this guy than Dave did here, because you can see actually in the arms he's actually left that top panel in there, but I actually quite like all of that silver. That works for me. What do you guys think? Too much silver, or is that a good amount? And any ideas on how to paint the gun? Should I paint the case of the gun something different? As you can see, Dave has done his black, and there's some gold details on there as well to kind of just break it all up, which I think is a good move. What do you guys think? Let me know. Anyway, let's wash this brush up. I'll give my brushes a really good clean in a minute. Cool. Let's move away from here and come away from the workbench. It's been a really good evening, even if I have been feeling a bit rough. Done a lot of groundwork there. I'm going to endeavour to get all of the silver done before next week's show. Again, I don't want to just kind of keep on doing the same boring stuff, on the show. I know that's kind of what we're all about. It's just kind of getting through that together, but it is a show and you want to see something different all the time. So yeah, hopefully I'll find some time to get him, get that finished, and then it'll be moving on to the weathering. Like I say, with the weathering, I'll be kind of washing down the silver with a slightly greyed black. And it should look really cool, and I'll be using a lighter orange to kind of make some scratches on it to make it look like it's gone through layers of like primers, if you like, and then when it's gone through on bigger scratches, I'll go through the lighter orange, and then I'll do like a little line of like dark brown in there, and then on the bigger ones again I'll go down to like bare metal to kind of give it some sort of depth. But of course it's about making that weathering look real, so like scratches of bullet marks, maybe claws from fighting aliens or something, or swords. Who fights robots with swords? Orcs, that's what. And then like maybe just general weathering, so around the edges and things like that, and try and make them a little bit more realistic. But otherwise, I am super happy with that, and as soon as the show is done, I'll take a picture and I'll pop it on Facebook for you so that you can see it, and I'll also put it over on Discord as well. So that's it for me, really. It's, like I say, I've had a really good show. Thank you very much for coming along. Thank you for being patient with me while I've been poorly today, and while I've been away last week and kind of making the computer all new. And even though I had massive technical problems earlier on, it works here. It's good. It has been warm this evening, so in the summers it's going to be difficult, but we'll deal with summer next year. Okay. Excuse me. I am really poorly. I am going to go and get some rest. I will pop over the Discord very briefly to see if anyone's over there, because if you want to come over for a chat, I'm not going to leave you hanging, but otherwise, if there's no one there, I am going to disappear tonight, but next week I'll be around to hang out with you guys. Don't forget that if you do like what we do here on the show, we're not just here on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Discord, and all the links to those platforms are just down there in the description of this video. If you do like what we do, like, follow, share, and subscribe. Every little bit that you do for me helps me make this show grow. I get enthusiastic, I get excited about it, and I want it to grow. And obviously we can share all the cool stuff with all the new cool people. And if you are one of those cool new people that have come along recently, thank you so much. It makes me really, really happy. Our views are going up, which is brilliant. Our subscribers up to 62. It did go up to 64, and then a couple of people go, "Oh, that's not for me," and that's fine. You can do that. Whatever, you can do whatever you want. It's your life. But do subscribe. Cool. Anyway, in case I'm going to blabber on now, it's been really, really good this evening. If you want to go to the Tank Museum, hit me up on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever. And until next time, I'll see you next week. So stay safe, keep well, be kind, and keep on painting. And I'll see you soon. Take care for now. Bye-bye. just so poorly. Wazomatic.